This may actually be the last Roblox Jailbreak update.
This is probably going to be the end of Jailbreak.
I've been considering about, just stopping, Jailbreak content.
This is going to be my last video.
That was kind of the problem I was having with Jailbreak, is every 2-hour live stream was pretty much the exact same live stream.
Roblox Jailbreak as we know it has been on a constant decline for many years now. Nowadays, with many players leaving and the developers putting an end to the monthly update schedule, many wonder what the future holds for the game. Will Jailbreak continue to decline, or will we perhaps see a revival? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. This is the future of Roblox Jailbreak. Before we get into talking about the future of Jailbreak, we first need to go back to where it all started. Roblox Jailbreak began development in late 2016 when two Roblox game developers, BatCC and Decima3089, got together and began working on the new game shortly after the release of their previous game called Volt. Although Volt was able to get a significant amount of traction, both of the developers eventually decided to start working on another game, which we all know today as Jailbreak. Both of the developers would spend nearly all of their free time working on the game, and after 4 months of development, Jailbreak was ready for release. Little did BatCC and Decima3089 know that this game would go on to change the Roblox platform by becoming the #1 game on Roblox while breaking numerous records.
And the winner is Jailbreak.
Everyone is playing this game.
I am pleased to present the Builderman Award of Excellence to Jailbreak.
It broke Roblox record after Roblox record and
Would proceed to change the face of Roblox for the years to come.
And the winner is Jailbreak.
It was a Friday night on April 21st, 2017, when Jailbreak officially released onto the Roblox platform, and unlike most new Roblox games at the time, Jailbreak was an instant success. On the first day of release, Jailbreak managed to accumulate over 40,000 concurrent players. That number would rise to over 60,000 within the next day, and Jailbreak would eventually become the first game on Roblox to accumulate 100,000 concurrent players 6 months before it would reach 1 billion total game visits and win 14 awards at the 5th annual Roblox Bloxy Awards. On top of that, due to Jailbreak's quick growing success, the game was also able to generate millions of dollars, making the two Roblox game developers, BatCC and Decima3089, millionaires overnight. But how did Jailbreak instantly blow up? One of the reasons for Jailbreak's instant success was simply because of the popularity of the prison genre on Roblox at the time. Before Jailbreak was released, one of the most popular games on Roblox was Prison Life. The game had a similar concept to Jailbreak, where prisoners would fight cops as they would try to escape prison. The issue with Prison Life, however, was the fact that there wasn't a whole lot that players could do after escaping prison. On top of that, the lack of updates didn't provide a lot of new content to the game. When Jailbreak was released, however, it was essentially just like Prison Life, where prisoners would have to work their way towards escaping prison while avoiding and fighting off cops. The big difference between Jailbreak and Prison Life, however, was the fact that Jailbreak had a lot more content provided towards players after they would escape prison. Unlike how in Prison Life, where there was only so much that you could do after escaping prison, in Jailbreak, you could operate different kinds of vehicles, such as cars and helicopters, to explore the huge map. Additionally, after escaping the prison in Jailbreak, you were also able to rob different stores, although Jailbreak only had the jewelry store at the time of its release. Regardless, the amount of content that Jailbreak had in its release outweighed the amount of content that Prison Life had, which made Jailbreak the most popular game on Roblox at release. The rising popularity of Jailbreak didn't stop shortly after its release, however. Apart from the weekly updates that the developers kept releasing, which kept providing Jailbreak with more content, one of the other factors that contributed to Jailbreak's continually growing success was its content creators. Just like whenever any other video game gets popular, many content creators want to jump in on the trend, which was the case for Roblox Jailbreak. As many significant Roblox YouTubers started to make videos on Jailbreak, it started bringing in many new players who were interested in playing the game for themselves. On top of that, combining Jailbreak's pre-existing high amounts of content and the weekly updates, Roblox YouTubers essentially had an unlimited amount of content that they could produce views, which kept bringing in more players. Even after the developers put an end to the game's weekly updates in August of 2017, the monthly updates certainly didn't disappoint the player base, as Jailbreak continued to receive massive game-changing updates that came packed with new features, some of which the Roblox community has never seen before on the platform. For the longest time, Jailbreak had little to no competition on Roblox. Although there were multiple instances where some games would try to replicate Jailbreak in an attempt to gain traction, most of them didn't end up performing very well and would eventually be abandoned. Lurking beneath the shadows, however, was a game that no one expected would take over the spot as the #1 game on the Roblox front page overnight.
Jailbreak is no longer the #1 game, and it looks like the game by the name of Mad City, which looks very similar to a Jailbreak type game, has taken over.
It's Jailbreak's new competitor. It's a new prison game that has just been announced.
Mad City just may be the next big thing.
Basically, it's Jailbreak, but with a few new features and most of it being similar.
Mad City is actually beating Jailbreak by a little bit here.
And for those of you who think, oh, you just really like Mad City, well, you're right. That is my opinion. I do think Mad City is a better game.
Mad City began development on December 3rd, 2017, although it wouldn't be until over a year later, on January 28th, 2019, when the game was finally released. Unlike most other Roblox games with the prison genre at the time, Mad City was an instant success. On the same date that the game was released, Mad City accumulated over 40,000 concurrent players, the same amount that Jailbreak had on its first day of release. By the end of that same week, Mad City was averaging nearly 50,000 concurrent players, while Jailbreak averaged around 35,000 concurrent players. Was Jailbreak finally overtaken as the #1 prison game on Roblox? Although it seemed like that was the case, Jailbreak's developers seemingly weren't willing to let that slide, and Jailbreak once again started receiving weekly updates. At the same time, however, Mad City's development team was also releasing weekly updates, which significantly boosted the game's popularity while keeping it relevant. This period in early 2019 is referred to by the Roblox community as the Jailbreak versus Mad City war. During this rivalry between Jailbreak and Mad City, the Roblox community had seemingly split, with one half liking Jailbreak and disliking Mad City, and the other half either having vice versa or neutral opinions. This rivalry between Jailbreak and Mad City would go on until the end of that year, when Mad City's daily concurrent player counts began to drop. Despite Mad City's development team's efforts to keep the game alive, it would sooner than later start losing a greater majority of its player base, mainly due to unfavorable updates, and Jailbreak would sooner than later regain its spot as the #1 prison game on Roblox. This was a pretty big shock to the Roblox community, as Jailbreak only had 2 developers developing the game at the time, while Mad City had an entire team of developers that were developing the game. In addition to that, Mad City also introduced new concepts to the prison genre on Roblox, which boosted the game's popularity, although only for a short period of time. Despite efforts to keep the game alive, Mad City's further decline in player counts signified the fact that the Jailbreak versus Mad City war was finally over, with Jailbreak coming out victorious and keeping its spot as the #1 prison game on Roblox. From this point on, it seemed like it would be smooth sailing for Jailbreak. Although it wasn't the #1 game on Roblox by 2020, as it was overtaken by other games with different genres, it was still accumulating an average of 40,000 daily concurrent players. As the years went on, however, more and more players seemingly started to lose interest in Jailbreak, despite being provided with more content. Within the span of a year, Jailbreak went from averaging 40,000 daily concurrent players in early 2021 to hardly being able to get over half of that the next year in early 2022. In an attempt to bring the majority of its player base back to the game, Jailbreak received some highly anticipated major updates later that year, including a map expansion following a live event and trading. Although these updates brought back a small number of the player base to the game, Jailbreak would end up back in its earlier state by the end of that same year, with the game hardly being able to get to 20,000 daily concurrent players. Although the player count has seemingly stabilized at around that number ever since then, more efforts to raise that player count have been made, with more highly anticipated updates being released, such as another live event in 2022 and the temporary return of OG Jailbreak. The further drop of the player count, however, once again symbolized the fact that the majority of the Roblox player base simply isn't interested in Jailbreak and the prison genre as a whole like it once was. Despite the lack of interest that the Roblox community holds towards the prison genre on the platform nowadays, the Roblox community was seemingly shocked with the announcement of the 3 game developers, BadCC, Asimo3089, and CritSticks, putting an end to the monthly update cycle for Jailbreak, something that has been a part of the game ever since its release. Many players believe that monthly updates were what kept Jailbreak alive, as they provided a lot of new content towards the game. The developers have stated, however, that they would prefer to shift away from Jailbreak, although not completely, and instead focus on other projects. With Jailbreak's decline throughout the past couple of years and the developers putting an end to the monthly update cycle, many wonder what will happen to the game going forward. Unfortunately, it's challenging to predict what will happen to Jailbreak in the future, although there could be possibilities of the game gaining more popularity. Throughout the past couple of months, the game's player count has been staying at a consistent 15,000 average daily concurrent players, but has recently seen an uprise, with the player count going to an upwards of nearly 30,000 daily concurrent players throughout the past couple of weeks, regardless of the lack of updates. Although it may not seem like a lot, Jailbreak has hardly been seen with that player count since the beginning of 2024. Although this sudden minor surge in Jailbreak's popularity could be temporary due to a number of factors, it still shows that whether or not Jailbreak continues to receive monthly updates, the high popularity of the game will likely never cease to exist. In addition to that, with Jailbreak closing in at 7 billion total visits, it's clear that the game isn't on the verge of dying, but rather the opposite. Although the developers have shifted their focus away from Jailbreak, they aren't abandoning the game anytime soon, as Jailbreak will still occasionally receive updates which will provide the game with new content, while preventing any game-breaking bugs and glitches from occurring. Although Jailbreak may not prosper like it once did back when it first came out in 2017, it's certainly not going to die anytime soon, but will rather likely continue to stay at a consistent player count with minor uprisings every now and then. Again, it's hard to say what will happen to the game in the future, but regardless of the outcome, I think that I speak for everyone when I say that Jailbreak will always have a special place in our hearts. Truth be told, a lot of times when we stop playing Jailbreak, we don't really quit the game, but rather take a break, whether it's a short or an extended one.